So one thing I want to ask about is, because your game does have bots in it,
Hmm.
what actually goes into like tuning bot difficulty? Because there is a lot of different ways that you could write bots for a game like this. You could just have it so they go shortest path, make a beeline to like other cars, and just always try to like instantly crash into them. But that might
Mm.
not be the most exciting way of doing it. Um, what? How have you approached this problem then to make it at least seem like they're trying to do something somewhat sensible?
You're gonna love this. When I
Okay.
first started the bots, they used to just use a raycast at the front,
Mm-hmm.
and if it saw a wall, it would literally do an if else statement saying, "If wall's here, turn." That was the very first iteration of the bots we had.
So I imagine there are probably situations where, especially if you wanted to have walls as like a hazard, where you
Mhm.
would just have them just spinning.
Pretty much. So sometimes they would literally just drive straight off a cliff because there was no wall. They're like, "Ah, there's no wall here. I'm gonna drive straight." But
Okay.
yeah, with the more later revisions, like the bots you see in the current version,
Mm-hmm.
they try to follow a determined path in the arena.
Mm-hmm.
So it's less likely for them to drive off, but we've seen them drive off sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure why. Maybe they just go a bit too fast and lose control.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, they do try to follow the path. If there's a car in front or nearby, they will target them and make the path follow that car, so they hit them.
Mm-hmm.
And when they hit them, they go back onto the nearest point in the path.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, in certain events, like say lava's rising on one side of the arena, you'll say, "Oh, I'm not going to go in that area. I'm staying this side."
Mm-hmm.
But if it's like the charge pad in the middle, if that turns on, all the cars will try to get to that path.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So currently, our bots are using a pathing system.
Mm-hmm. Are you again? This is probably going to go back to the time thing. Are you
Uh-huh.
considering having like a bot difficult
Oh yes.
bot
With the
difficulty?
difficulty.
I hate
Yeah.
that word.
So with that, I guess the way we would tone that would be how they use the weapons.
Mm.
Would they like predict where it's gonna hit and then actually use it then? Because at the moment, the bots, all they know how to do is just hold down the weapons.
Mm. Okay.
It's it's not the smartest, but sometimes those bots do win.
Yeah, I have been killed by a couple of them.
Yeah. But no, with the difficulty parts, it would definitely count like how to use the weapons, when to time, if they use movement abilities such as nudge.
Mhm.
I haven't had the chance to code the AI using nudge yet, but they could probably use it for like ramming and such.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm. Have you played around with anything like this in the past? Like, have you done bots for a prior game, or is this very much just a learn as you go for this one?
Um, that depends on what you would consider bots. Because
Sure.
back in like the Flash games, right, I've made very simple enemies that go back and forth.
Okay.
But
Sure.
as for like full scale bots, like playing and such, I guess this would be considered the first one.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Did did you like learn from anything that you find online, or is it just like trying things out and see how they feel?
let's definitely start off with just trying how it went with the detect wall kind of thing.
Sure. Okay,
But
that one. Yeah. Yeah.
once I figured out, oh, there's actually a smarter way to do this, I
Mhm.
looked at some tutorials. I'm like, all right,
Mhm. Mhm.
I'll go through those tutorials, see what the core concept is, and then apply the code in myself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And now you have something that at least seems like it plays relatively well. Um, I I certainly didn't notice anything like really bizarre with like the bot behavior.
Yeah, it is a little bit random, the bots, though.
Mm,
I want to make them a bit more readable
mm,
because
mm,
I believe that's what makes a great AI player, being able to read what a player is going to do, you know?
mm,
Like,
mm,
you can predict what a human would do, say, oh, they're driving over that way near that weapon, they're going to go pick it up.
mm.
You can, like, anticipate that. Whereas the bots may, like, no, I'm going to turn away because this path is the better path.
Right, right. So, okay, yeah. So if there's like, and I guess especially in like King of the Hill as well, you probably want
Mm.
them to actually care about the objective.
Oh yeah, of course. So the AI bots do go to the current target.
Mm,
It's pretty similar to with the charge pad. Like when that charge pad activates, they go to there. But
mm,
in like the King of the Hill modes, they'll say, "Oh, the hill's over here now. Time to
mm,
go over there."
mm. Yeah, because I could imagine the trying just the regular deathmatch AI. Yeah, probably wouldn't go too well for that one.
Definitely, especially if they're holding down the weapons aspect of it.
Mm. So, what about the prior games that you guys have released?
Yep. So with the prior games we started off by releasing a mobile game
Mhm.
called Jerry's Jungle Struggle.
Jerry's
That was
Jungle Struggle.
breaking into the scene as a official studio
Mhm,
on Apple and Android.
mhm,
As for the other games, we've done some experimenting with prototyping a VR game called Bad Hair Day, where you use garden tools to cut people's hair. um, and in between those games and this game, we did a couple of game jams for like YouTubers such as Brackies, which is a Unity tutorial guy,
mhm, mhm,
um, Game Maker's Toolkit, which discusses like theory in the games, I guess
mhm,
you could say. We made games such as Weasel's Real Estate, where the theme of the game jam was holes.
mm.
So we thought, why don't we make a whack a mole game, but literally you whack a moles when they go through your lawn trying to make holes, because you're trying to like present a property to an upcoming customer, and they're
Mhm.
like minutes away.
That's actually a cool concept. I like that.
Yeah, we have considered making that one a mobile game as well, but
Mhm.
since we're working on this game, it's been on the back burner.
Right, right. One game at a time.
Yeah.
No, I can definitely see how this would be a fun mobile game. Um,
Uh,
I've personally never gotten myself involved in a game jam. I would like to do. There's a lot of things I would like to do more of, right? Like
mhm.
I would like to focus on sort of like do some more game development stuff because I did enjoy it when I've done so in the past. Like only a little bit here and there, nothing like actually that serious. Just like
Yeah, it's
little
good fun.
little fun things.
Mm,
Yeah, I don't know. Everything comes back to it. There's only so much time in the day.
that's true. Thankfully, with game jams, they only take 48 hours,
Mhm,
depending if you go for the short ones.
mhm. Well, it's not even just that. Like, it's just generally wanting to mess around with stuff. Like,
Yeah.
whether like I want to learn. I've been slowly but surely learning Rust because I've known about Rust for a long time and had never just gotten around to to touching the language.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, I want to start messing around with Godot at some point because I've heard a lot of good things about it and.
Yeah, I've actually heard many good things about Godot too.
Mhm,
Like, I've considered checking that one out with
mhm,
the not so recent Unity problem.
mhm.
You know about that one, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But we decided to stick with Unity since we're pretty close to launching.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
porting over to another engine, like it's it's not a matter of hey, copy and paste over. It just works. Like it's
If only
definitely
if it
not
was that
that.
easy. Have to learn the engine, have to get the code in, make sure it's translated into. I'm not sure what language they would use.
I think their main language is like a custom thing called GD script.
Ah, that's right.
I think they have. I feel like they have C sharp support, but
Hmm,
obviously libraries are yeah they do. Libraries are entirely different though. So like
gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're not using the Unity libraries, but you are at least the language is similar. But like GD
yeah.
script is like their main thing.
Fair
Um,
enough.
I don't know what that language is like. Uh,
I've heard it's similar to Python in like the simplicity of it.
yeah, that's what it looks like. It's Python, but so there's some stuff in here that's more explicit, like you actually define, you use a variable keyword, use const, things like that, instead of it just being implied by the context it's being used in.
Ah,
So Python, but with more explanation about what's going on,
fair enough.
because Python is effectively it's effectively pseudocode, really. Like, I know there's some like more complicated syntax in Python that you can get into with like higher level stuff, but at a fundamental level, Python is basically pseudocode.